continue with exciting college basketball action this Friday afternoon from the FilOil Flying V Center in San Juan City. This is your 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup, live and exclusive on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Earlier today, De La Salle University trampled on University of the East 97-75 with Big Ben Embala muscling his way with 24 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Now we feature two teams coming from losses last Saturday. Ateneo De Manila University taking on Adamson University. Hello Philippines and hello world for ABS-CBN Sports. I'm Andre Felix and I'm joined by well-respected analyst Marco Benitez. Mark, it's finally nice to be partnering with you.
Good afternoon, Dre, and it's finally great to be working with you again here at the FilOil tournament, where we are going to be showcasing two new programs, or two programs that have some sort of reset their buttons. Coach Tab Baldwin, now the new coach for the Ateneo Blue Eagles, Coach Franz Pomarin, also the new coach for the Adamson Falcons. A very exciting preseason so far, and it's going to be just going to get more exciting as we go along.
We have 16 teams divided into two groups, of course, Group A and Group B, Marco. In Group A, we have 5 NCAA schools and 3 UAP schools. For Group B, 4 UAP schools and 4 NCAA schools.
Both groups actually very strong groups. You have the current UAP champion FEU Tamaraos in Group A, also another powerhouse NU. Also in Group A, San Sebastian College Recoletos with their new coach. Also in Group A, and of course Coach Bo Perasol now leading the way for the UP Fighting Maroons. Also in Group A, in my count, Dre, actually there are about 7 new coaches in this FilOil Pre-Season Premier Cup. Again, you also have the current NCAA champion San Juan de Letran, also showcasing a new coach in Jeff Napa. So very interesting, very exciting times ahead as we know this FilOil tournament signals the start of the new basketball season.
There are a lot of storylines, a lot of drama as well. We can build up a lot of subplots, of course, as we prepare for their respective tournaments, the NCAA and the UAAP respectively. Now let's talk about the format when the top 4 teams for each group advance. What happens, Marco?
So the top 4 teams from each group advances, and it's a crossover quarterfinals, knockout matches all around. So number 1 in Group A faces number 4 in Group B. Number 1 in Group B faces number 4 in Group A, and vice versa. What you have to remember here is each game is a knockout match. The winner advances to the semifinals, while the loser goes home and starts going back to the drawing board for their upcoming mother tournament. So it's going to be very exciting and very interesting to watch.
I mentioned earlier, Marco, that De La Salle University just showing everybody what they can do with their new coach Aldenayo, with Ben Embala. Let's take a look at the updated team standings. De La Salle still undefeated with 2 wins, and Arellano University for Group A leading the pack.
Right now, La Salle at the top of the heap with 2 wins, most wins in the tournament, as the other teams have only had 1 game apiece. FPU also at the top of the heap on the other side of the groups. Arellano also led by Coach Jericho Diniera. In contrast to what we will probably see here, where Coach Franz Pomarin and Coach Tab Baldwin will do a little bit of experimenting. You already saw Coach Aldenayo really stick to the core of his team, and what a core it is. But for Ateneo, Coach Tab Baldwin will be experimenting a lot. Again, a new coach in the new system for Ateneo. So there will be a lot of new faces. This is a very young team. Goner, Kiefer Avena, Von Pesumal. So the guys that have really carried Ateneo on their shoulders are going to be gone. Some of the mainstays that are going to be there: Adrian Wong, Aaron Black is going to be here. One of the new guys who have come to the fore, and one of the guys that expected to lead this Blue Eagle squad, Tyler Dio from Xavier University. He played really well in that opening game against University of the East, had 28 minutes, 19 points, 2 assists. One of the things that you're going to have to look at is his number of turnovers. Again, this is a very young team. Dio had 4 turnovers in that ball game. And as we go along, you're going to want to see this Blue Eagle squad under Coach Tab Baldwin really mature as we approach the UAP season.
We talked about Coach Tab Baldwin replacing Coach Bo Perasol for Ateneo as we are looking at the high-flying debut of Tyler Dio. People say he might be the second coming of Chris Chu. That remains to be seen. Now let's talk about the Adamson University Soaring Falcons. If Ateneo has a new coach. They also have a new coach in Coach Franz Pomarin. It was actually nostalgic, Marco, watching Coach Franz Pomarin with Don Aliado as assistant coach, Ren Ritualo, who torched Ateneo back in the day for De La Salle, but they were against the green and white in their first game. Although they lost, they have a lot of bright spots, and one of the bright spots is Sean Manganti, the stretch four who played big for Coach Franz, and the system was back, the nightmare defense.
Yeah, just talk a little about that. Very nostalgic. Coach Franz Pumaran winning 5 championships with La Salle and Don Aliado, Rene Retualo, part of those championship teams. So right now, the changing landscape of basketball. Sean Maganti, one of the guys that really had a breakout performance in that game against De La Salle University. He's one of the guys, he's a stretch four, lanky, he's long, he can run the floor, likes to crash boards, likes to hustle for loose balls, had 13 points, 5 rebounds in 22 minutes of play. He and Don Ochea will be playing the stretch four position as Papi Sar will be the reliable big man. But one thing you notice from Coach Franz Pumaran systems, the hard-nosed defense, the up and down tempo, and we're going to see some more of that today.
And I asked Ren Retualo about Sean Manganti. Do you still give him shooting advice? Ren goes, why fix it if it ain't broke?
Yes,
so he's shooting
true.
well. And we'll also be joined by Steph Monza reporting for Adamson and Laura Liman reporting for Ateneo. When we come back, it will be Coach Franz Pumaran leading Adamson University, taking on the new coach, Tab Baldwin, leading Ateneo De Manila. This is the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup, live on ABS-CBN Sports in Action.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the FilOil Flying V Center here in San Juan, we bring you our second televised game this Friday on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. This is your 10th FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. Let us now meet the starters, beginning with the Ateneo De Manila Blue Eagles. At forward, number 7, Mike Nieto. Power forward, number 14, Chris Porter. At center, number 18, G-Boy Babylonia. Off guard, number 24, Aaron Black. And at the point guard, number 34, Tyler Tio. The head coach of the Blue Eagles, Sandy Ares Pagutsaga, team consultant, Ted Baldwin. And now let's meet the Adamson Soaring Falcons. At forward, number 15, Sean Manganti. Power forward, number 23, Jared Ahanbisi. Center, number 21, Papi Sar. Off guard, number 6, Jimboy Pastoran. And the point guard, number 17, Harold Nang. Head coach of the Falcons, Franz Pumaran. The officials for this ball game, Ferdinand Bong Pascual, Ariel Artulfo.
Take a look at the starting five for both squads. We mentioned Tyler Tio. He will be starting for Ateneo along with Aaron Black. We also have Babylonia in the middle. Big Mike Nieto, who lost a lot of weight.
Yes.
Do I still call him Big Mike, though?
Actually, one of the articles I read, he said he's still Big Mike.
He's still
the
big,
brother
okay.
of Matt Nieto, and he still acts like one of the leaders of this team.
Ateneo in white, Adamson in dark navy blue. Here we go. First possession goes to Ateneo.
One of
Aaron.
the new faces that we're going to see, G-Boy Babylonia did not play in the previous game.
And Aaron Black starts firing. He hits that perimeter J to put Ateneo on the scoreboard 2-0. Adamson starting with Sean Manganti, Harold Nang, Papi Sar, Jimboy Pasturan, and Jerry Ahamisi. And Papi Sar gets the bounce, gets a 2.
And this is going to be an easier matchup, so to speak, for
Yes.
Papi Sar. He was matched up against Ben and Bala. Really gave Papi Sar a hard time. Got him into foul trouble early in their meeting last Saturday.
Tyler Tio, watched closely by Jimboy Pasturan. They go to the low block. Here's Mike Nieto using that glass. Looks good. And so far, so good for Ateneo.
Mike Nieto has had that range. He can actually hit it from the three-point area. He showed that to us as he was playing back in high school.
He lost how many pounds? 35 pounds?
From what I heard, Jay, 35 pounds daw yung nawala nito si Mike Nieto.
Kaya gumaan din talaga yung pakiramdam niya, Marco. Eh, no?
And one of the things that he really has to adjust to in this college ball game, in high school he played the 4 position. Right now he's going to be playing the 2 and the 3 position for Coach Tab Baldwin.
Now let's go to the first report of today's game, courtesy of Steph Monza reporting for Adamson. Hi, Steph.
Andre and Marco going up against the Blue Eagles today, Captain Baldon Ochea said that every game is an experience and that the team is very excited to learn for today. Also coming from his illness, JD Tongkab shared to me na hanggat sa maaari ay maglalaro lang daw siya the way that he played in his rookie season in the UAAP. Pero siguraduhin daw niya na higitan daw niya lagi ang kanyang sarili. Balik sa inyo, Andre and Marco.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Steph. So it looks like JD Tongkab, who didn't play in their first game against De La Salle last Saturday, will be in action. He is suited up. Here's an outside shot. Ahamisi, ilista mo na. First, yes, Maka sa tres from the younger brother of the pro player, Maverick Ahamisi.
And ito si Ahamisi did not really get to see much action because he was in foul trouble most of the game last Saturday. Right now, showing us he has the range.
And this three-point shot, Marco, is brought to you by Papo, the perfect entertainment snack, also perfect for us.
And immediately, Dre, yung full court pressure, patented ko nga rin, defensive nightmare defense na sinasabi mo nga, coming into play here, causing havoc for Ateneo.
Aaron Black, 5 seconds to shoot. That basket won't count. Foul down low. Sabi ng ating referee, we have Bong Pascual, Ariel Bernayo, and also Rigor Buaron as our three officials as we take a look at the young Ateneo bench.
And one of the things nga that is a little unique dito sa FilOil tournament, you're allowed to change your lineups up to the third game of this tournament, and that's why you're going to see new faces here. You have guys like Jamie Escaler, Gian Mamuyak, Jolo Mendoza, even Quinito Banzon, who hails from the De La Salle Sobel program, are suited up for Coach Tab Baldwin.
So Marco, if you weren't lined up in the previous game, you can still play in the second game up until the third game.
Up until the third game, where afterwards Coach Tab Baldwin has to finalize the lineup that he's going to go with for the rest of the tournament.
Ahamisi knocks it down. He will head to the line for a bonus free throw. He is starting off hot for Adamson University. Jerick Vincent Ahamisi, a guard, plays the two, plays the three. He's a wing and stands at 6 feet tall. Of course, the younger brother of Maverick. Also grew up in the U.S. This kid also has bright potential, Marco, but still needs a lot of experience.
Already right now, he's eclipsed his performance from last game with 6 points in the ball game. He scored 5 points last out. And one of the things that's going to be crucial for Ateneo is they have to take care of the basketball. They only average about 17 turnovers in season 78. In their last game against UE, they had 28 turnovers, leading to 24 turnover points for the Red Warriors.
Sean Porter hits that one. Ateneo still trails by 2. Papi Sar earlier hit a J, missed that time around.
And for G-Boy Babylonia, that is going to be the key. He has to push Papi Sar outside the painted area, get him out of his sweet spot, force him to that mid-range jumper.
Babylonia looking. Nieto will be found by Ahamisi. That's his first. Now let's go to the other side of things, where Laura Lehman will talk about what went wrong in their first game against UE last Saturday. Lau?
Andre and Marco, last game against UE was disappointing for Ateneo. They led in the first few minutes, but unfortunately, they lost their grip towards the end of the game. Now I spoke to Coach Sandy, and he really blamed it on 2 things: turnovers and 4 free throws. Basically, the Blue Eagles fumbled too often, and UE's infamous press got to their heads. But really, this shouldn't have happened, seeing as the Eagles anticipated the move, and this is what UE is known for. But in any case, Ateneo did not recover, and this could be due to a lack of experience. Their FilOil lineup is still very young but promising. They're testing the waters, and they have even yet to decide on a team captain. That's all for now, Andre and Marco.
Thank you, Laura Lehman, reporting for Ateneo. We saw Mike Nieto. I looked at you when he hit that outside shot, Marco.
And he has really developed that steady three-point shot. And good point by Laura. Free throw shooting, one of the Waterloos of Ateneo last game. Shot 35 out of 50. But the fact that they had 50 free throws coming off the fouls from UE, you can expect, since similar yung system na tinatakbo ni Coach Franz and Coach Derek Pomare, there might be a lot of fouls also called, so expect them to take a lot of free throws also today.
Oh, Mike was free for a few seconds. Aaron didn't see him. New guy coming in, and you face Isaac Go, wearing jersey number 11 for Ateneo, is now in for Coach Tab.
And Isaac Go, one of the players who played, one of the rookies of Ateneo in season 78, did not get to see a lot of minutes
He's going to be matched up against Papi Sar here.
Papi Sar knocks down, and he has 2 of 3 from the field so far. Adamson University still in the driver's seat, gets the lead back, up by a solitary point, 10-9. We're back with you coming from the FilOil Flying V Center, the newly renovated FilOil Flying V Center. A lot of students in attendance as well, and some supporters. Of course, we have supporters of De La Salle, who were victorious early against University of the East, and now Ateneo and Adamson. There it is again, the nightmare press, patented by Coach Franz Pumaren.
And it's going to be a good test here for Tyler Teo. James Pastoran gave a good account of himself in that last outing. He's a guy that likes to pressure the ball, also can hit from the outside and can penetrate.
Yun nga yung sinabi ni Coach Franz sa atin, Marco. It's all about embracing that new system.
Yeah. And you know, when it's different when it's a new coach talking to you about trying to implement a new system. But when it's a Coach Franz Pumaren, who is a proven winner, a multi-title coach, kung ikaw yung player, you talk about guys like Harold Nang, Papi Sar, and guys who have been or have seen what Coach Pumaren is capable of. Wala kang choice kung hindi makinig and matuto.
Tapos lagyan mo pa ng assistant coach na Ren Retualo, na Don
Don
Aliado.
Ay, Don Aliado, baka takot kang masaktan ka.
Papi Sar, good seal, in and out.
Good job there by Isaaco, standing his ground.
Anton Asisio manning the point position now for Ateneo. High-low. And that Chris Porter just using his body against Harold Nang, if I'm not mistaken. Or Sean Manganti, that is.
Sean Manganti, good move there from Chris Porter. You know, Dre, itong 5 for Ateneo here. 3 of those players coming from the Blue Eaglets program. Anton Asisio, Mike Nieto, even Chris Porter.
Sean Manganti knocks down the 2.
That is where he has the advantage against Chris Porter. Has the quickness advantage against itong sinatawag nilang ports.
Si Sean Porter.
Chris Porter.
Of course, for those who don't know, just a little bit of trivia as well, para sa kaalaman, you also serve as a team manager of Ateneo De Manila. I don't, well, di ko ba dapat binanggit, pero nabanggit.
Okay.
Should I retract it?
No. And
of
actually, that's one of the reasons why we get a little bit of those tidbits and anecdotes about these players. As we see 30 Ravenna checking in.
4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining.
Okay, we just heard Coliseum worker Rolly Manlapas say there's some technical difficulties in the clock, but we will be right back. We will take a quick break. Stay with us. You're live on ABS-CBN Sports in Action, the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. We're back with you. Di lang naabutan, but first free throw went down, make that 2 free throws going down.
And ito si Anton Asisio. He is a known shooter as he commits the foul there on James Pastoran. But Anton Asisio, known as a 3-point sniper. Actually, I think he had 35 points in one of those another preseason tournament while he was playing for Team B of Ateneo. There's that foul from behind. Anton Asisio could not control his momentum.
A while ago, we just took a quick break. I don't know if you can note this from your television screens as we take a look at the Adamson bench. Wala yung shot clock, wala yung game clock. Medyo, as a former player yourself, Marco, how difficult will this be for the basketball players? Walang shot clock ang nakikita.
It's going to be very difficult, especially if you're the point guard orchestrating for this team. You're going to rely on your coaching staff or on your teammates from the bench to shout out the seconds remaining on your shot clock. And with the drums going on around here, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have to rely on a lot of feel.
Adamson. No shot clock kaya medyo nakakagulo. But Papi Sar now with 6 points for Adamson University, tying Ahamisi. There's this full court press still hounding, and now Adrian Wong is in the game. Slips, and now Go cuts, traveling violation will be called an ISOC goal.
And I'm sure Coach Don Aliado worked with Papi Sar during the past few months to work on his mid-range and post-game. Papi Sar reaping the benefits. A little bit of full court pressure naman dito para sa white shirts.
And the jumper doesn't go that time around para dito kay Mustre, Terence Mustre, son of Mike Mustre. Some new faces on the floor. Adrian Wong given daylight, and Adrian Wong knocks it down from beyond the arc.
Ito si Adrian Wong has shown us that he can really break out in terms of scoring. Broke out in the last few games or in the second round of season 78. Just had that unfortunate miss in that semi-final, Final Four matchup against FEU.
Pacanada is also in the game now for ADU that is. Tongkab losing a handle, and now Tolentino is in the game as well. Third year Ravenna. Tolentino using that Adrian Wong screen. Asistio fires away. Too strong, long rebound. Goes to Adamson. Pacanada on the run. Pacanada, tumuloy-tuloy.
That's one of the things that JD Tongkab brings
Tongkab,
to this, brings to this Adamson ball team, his squad. He can bring the ball up the floor, very versatile guard, and penetrate and finish strong to the basket.
Tolentino gets that one. His first two. Thank you for that, Marco. I thought it was Pacanada. It's Tongkab, and this is your Haynes, America's first name in comfort, the Haynes Cool Play of the quarter, courtesy of JD Tongkab. Be right back after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for watching the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. On your screens, of course, proud father of the Ravennas, Mr. Bong Ravenna, and we also have Ms. Odette Bumaren, and of course, sister as well of Chris Newsom in attendance, yes.
Actually, a lot of former professional players watching yung mga anak na nila, second generation.
Familiar faces. Adrian Wong now on the floor with Asistio, Isaac Go, Tolentino, and third year Ravenna for the Blue Eagles. Wong attacks the kick out to Tolentino, the swing to Asistio for the three. No. Isaac Go with the offensive rebound, short on that attempt.
One of the things that Ateneo can capitalize on. Papi Sar on the bench here. Ateneo, good rebounding team. Out-rebounded UE last game 58-31. So let's see if they can flex their muscles inside the paint on the glass here.
Tolentino attacks, gets the foul, gets that buck, so he will head to the line for two free throws. Camacho will be called for his first personal foul. Camacho didn't see action last Saturday for Adamson.
So a smaller lineup here for the Soaring Falcons. You have Camacho, Dono Chea, former Cesafi Juniors MVP JD Tongkab, Terence Mustre, who came or who played with De La Salle Green Archers a couple of seasons back, as we see Ike watching from the sidelines.
Like what you mentioned, Marco, pwedeng iba-ibahin ng coach. Depende kung sino yung sa tingin niyang gusto niyang palaruin. In the first two games up until the third game, doon na maglalock yung lineup.
Siyempre alam natin, Dre, each of these respective coaches, they have their respective training pools where they select players whom they will be choosing later on for their mother leagues. One of those guys who just checked in, Jamie Escaler, also part of the training pool of Coach Tab Baldwin.
Couple of fakes for 30 Ravenna, having problems. Won't give it up. Asistio. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ravenna has it. 5 to shoot. 30. With a ward-off, he will be called for an offensive foul.
An offensive foul there on 30 Ravenna. He has to act with a little more aggressiveness.
Of course, 30 did not see action in UAAP season 78.
Saw action in season 77, so missed last year, and hopefully he'll be back this year.
Asistio with a steal. 3-on-1 break.
That's going to be a sorry miss here for Jamie Escaler.
Booster now on the run. Terence Booster, nice look. The baseline, and that was so deep, but still good for JD Tongkab.
Ganda naman ang fake pass no ni JD Tongkab. Got 30 Ravenna looking the other way.
30 Pinanggana, may basket pa para kay 30 Ravenna. Heads to the line for a bonus free throw.
And this is one of the strengths of 30's game, the open court transition game. He can finish strong at the basket. That time, fishing for the foul as well.
This is the play of the game brought to you by Total Exilium, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer. 30 at the line. And 30 completes the three-point play, puts his name on the scoreboard. Shot clock is dead, literally, and now it is really dead.
10 seconds left in the first quarter.
It's been a seesaw battle. Adamson earlier led. Oh, nice block by Escaler on...
Oh, that's Terence Mustre. Great anticipation there from Jamie Escaler. Coming off the bottom of that 2-3 zone. Another good challenge from Jamie Escaler. So the clock is going to expire here for Adamson.
The biggest lead of Adamson was at 4, also for Ateneo when the score. Adamson led when the score was 8-4, and now Ateneo is up 23-19. It was a good start for the Soaring Falcons. We see Porter hitting that jumper, Papi Sar with 6 points for Adamson University, but it's the Blue Eagles up by 4 heading to the second quarter coming up. Only here on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. You're watching 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup live and exclusive on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Ateneo up by 4 at the end of the first 10 minutes of play, 23-19 against Adamson University. Good afternoon, Andre Felix, Marco Benitez, Laura Lehman for Ateneo, and Steph Monse for Adamson. That's the 4 working for ABS-CBN Sports. A foul spotted by our official with a few seconds gone by on the clock in the second quarter, Marco.
And this is going to be against Quinito Banson, another rookie coming from the De La Salle Junior Archers program. So new faces again on the floor here for both squads. You have Quinito Banson here for the Blue Eagles. You have Rob Magalang for Adamson. Chris Garcia also in the ballgame here for Coach Franz Gomare.
Hub looking inside to Don Ochea. Ochea posting up, and Ochea knocks that hook shot for Adamson U. Now let's go back to Ateneo's side, courtesy of this report from Laura Lehman. Yes, Lau.
Andre and Marco, in my last report, I talked about how Ateneo collapsed under UE's pressure defense. Now, according to Coach Sandy, Adamson is a similar team. They also play pressure D, and so later in this game, Ateneo could face a similarly dangerous situation. But this time around, Coach Sandy is not as worried. He said that the boys should have learned from their mistakes last game. At training, they practiced responding to the press, and so today the boys should know how to adjust and improve. It's a test of maturity and who will take the lead. That's all for now, Andre and Marco.
Thank you so much, Lau. And we see another new face. We have Joel Mendoza coming in for Ateneo.
Joel Mendoza coming from the Blue Eaglets program also, and part of the Batangilas.
Yes.
Seaba champions. Cole Maisek also in the ballgame, hailing from Team B of Ateneo.
Phil-American player Cole Maisek, like what you mentioned, is in as well with... so 30 sits down. So a lot of new faces. Yeah. Jamie Escaler still in the game for Ateneo. Mendoza's first attempt from the outside does not go. On the run, also Adamson fielding in new faces. And there will be a foul, too close for comfort, called on Joel Mendoza.
And you notice, Dre, also a small lineup here for Coach Tab Baldwin. You have about 3 guards in Banzon, Mendoza, Maisek. And then you have Vince Tolentino and Jamie Escaler. Not really your standard big men.
Garcia, they swing it over to Robbie Manalang. Manalang, we know, is a spot-up shooter also for Coach Franz Pumagan.
Manalang hit about, I believe, 3 3-pointers
last Saturday
against La Salle. So he's one of the guys that Ateneo has to be wary of from the outside.
Tolentino against Garcia. Tolentino, the spin. Mendoza still firing. He is 0 of 2 from the perimeter today. Harold Nang running it. Speleta is also now in the hard court for Adamson University. Donochea. Garcia. The handoff to Harold Nang from the outside. Ateneo will have to set it up. Nice look inside to Tolentino.
That's great patience there. Great look there from Quinito Banzon, finding the cutting Tolentino. You know, I like what Tolentino has done to his game. He's more mobile, more agile. Looks like he's in the best shape of his college career so far.
High-low play from Garcia to Chen. That works for Adamson University. It is 25-21. Ateneo still in the driver's seat, up by 4.
And as right after we praise itong si Vince Tolentino, Donochea going to work on him, this time using the left hand for the hook.
Isaac now over to Banson. Banson and loses the handle on the ball, a little too aggressive on that play. Let's take a look. Banson spots the cutting Tolentino, and that play is brought to you by Total Exilium, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer.
Medyo nawala sa depensa doon si Chris Garcia. Did not see the cutting Vince Tolentino behind him. Leonardo also here in the ball game together with James Pastoran.
Pastoran. No, and Mendoza skies high for the rebound. Close game, 25-23. Let's go back to Steph Monse for Adamson's side. Yes, Steph.
Andre and Marco, I heard you mention Coach Franz earlier. Well, right now he's asking for a more stronger defense play from the boys. And yes, it is important to listen to him, as I talked to Papi Sar earlier before the game started. And he mentioned of the possibility of winning today, and he emphasized that if they only follow the rules of the coaches and not stray away from the system, there's a good shot in your Sultan in the guarder side. Like sa inyo?
Maraming salamat, Steph. Finally, Mendoza hits from the outside.
Yeah. Coming off that dribble drive motion, there's a kick out from Cole Maisek. That's one of the things that the Adamson defense is going to have to recognize. Joel Mendoza, known as a deadly shooter from the high school ranks. In the defense, you're not going to help off of Joel Mendoza and leave him that wide open as Papisar checks back into the ballgame.
That three-point shot, by the way, is brought to you by Papo, the perfect entertainment snack. 5-second violation called on Adamson.
So the Ateneo defense forcing turnovers of their own. Itong Adamson, they had 33 turnovers against LaSalle.
Of course, LaSalle employing that new mayhem system by Coach Alden Ayon. Another timeout on the floor. 5:56 remaining in the first half. Ateneo up by 5. On your screen says Alexa Maisek, champion from the recently Beach Valley Republic. Of course, she's older than 4 years than Cole Maisek.
Cole Maisek. Wala naman daw sa itsura, sabi mo, di ba, Dre?
Oh, tinanong ko. You don't look older, ah.
And of course, Renz Palma on your screens. Coming off that loss against Green Archer. So
there's the younger brother.
There's the younger brother, Cole Maisek. Part of the new faces of this Blue Eagle program.
Babylonia is back in, so is Chris Porter. Good ball movement, at least a wide open Banson who overshoots his mark. Adamson on the attack. Now they go down low to Papisar, posting up Babylonia. Bernardo, no. Babylonia gets aboard.
And look for Adamson to try to really capitalize on their advantage with Papisar in the paint.
With Babylonia? Yes,
spread offense coming from Ateneo. And you know, Jay, with Babylonia there at the high post, it's going to try to negate the shot blocking presence of Papisar.
Take a look at what happened there. Harold Mack trying to draw an offensive foul on Cole Maisek, but Maisek, that's the line for 2 free throws.
CJ Kadua
is now in. Kaya nga, Marco, pinag-usapan natin during the commercial break. This is the time where, you know, it's your time to shine for the young players. You're given your opportunity. A lot of brand new faces as we take a look at proud fathers as well. Coach Norman Black and Danny Ildefonso in attendance, of course.
Five-time champion coach of Ateneo, Coach Norman Black. And now I believe the big man coach of the Ateneo basketball program, itong si Danny Ildefonso.
He is if I read somewhere that he's actually coaching a young big man, 13-year-old Kai Soto.
Kai Soto, who is part of the Blue Eaglets program. And his son, Dave Ildefonso, is part of the Blue Eaglets, and his other son, Sean Ildefonso, is also part of the seniors training pool.
The runner is good, and that goes on for Jimboy Pastoran.
Second chance opportunity there for Adamson, and Pastoran not wasting his second opportunity.
Let's take a look. Pastoran. Nice hesitation and goes inside for that runner. Has 3 points earlier, hit that free throw. Ateneo still ahead by 5. Papisar, well anticipated, and goes all the way for the stuff and the slam.
Great anticipation there from Papisar, showing us that he too can bring the ball up the floor and finish strong.
To Banson, good-looking set shot from the perimeter.
Akito Banson, known as a mid-range shooter, likes to penetrate, can finish strong at the basket, showing us that mid-range touch.
Jimboy Pastoran, nice cut by Bernardo. Porter with a rebound. Benito Banson surveying for a semi-big man. He has the handles as well as Babylonia misses from the baseline. Mustre, back to Mustre, as all they shoot. Terrence Mustre knocks it down.
Ito si Terrence Mustre, really in good shape as we see here, quite lean. And he's shown us in the previous game against LaSalle that he can hit from the outside.
Shades of his father, Mike Mustre.
At 11 points, 1 out of 2 from the three-point area, 3 out of 5 from the two-point range. And here's that jam. Papisar.
And that was our Haynes cool play of the quarter. Haynes, America's first name in comfort. Aaron Black is back on the hard court. He will bring the ball inbounds for Ateneo. Their lead chipped to 2. Their biggest lead earlier was at 7.
And you know, Dre, just to give you an idea of how young itong Ateneo Ball Club is, itong si Aaron Black is already one of the veterans on the squad with 3 years of experience. I believe he, Vince Tolentino, and G-Boy Babylonia are among the most veteran players on this team.
That's how young this Ateneo squad is now. Gadwa goes to Manalang. The pass fake, Manalang to Mustre. Fires away again. Another 3, back-to-back threes for Terrence Mustre.
You can be sure Coach Sandy Respacachaga and Coach Tab Baldwin are going to have some words about the half-court defense of the Blue Eagles.
Then we see now a closer look at Coach Norman Black. Of course, led Ateneo to 5 titles. That was a great run. And then we see players of University of the East losing earlier to De La Salle University. After prevailing in their first game last Saturday against Ateneo, they lost to De La Salle by a big margin, 97-75 earlier today.
And we saw La Salle really go to their core team of Ben Embala, Jeron Teng, even Abu Tratter. Yung double trouble na sabi ni Coach Ronnie Magsanop, Dre, na si Embala and Tratter, really formidable front line para sa Green Archers.
Nakakatakot talaga. The rest of the UAB should be really scared of De La Salle in the coming season 79 season this year.
That's going to be a turnover for Kadua.
Of course, Marco, it's still a new system. You know, a new coach, new system. But we after seeing that lineup that La Salle fields in,
on paper, very scary. Especially, Dre, if you look at the other teams, Ateneo rebuilding, Adamson with their new system, new rebuilding as well. Some of the other teams, I don't know if UST already has declared who their head coach will be. UP, Coach Bo Perasol, also relatively rebuilding. So I think LaSalle is going to be one of the more veteran teams already with a solid core. Ito nga si Benembala, 3 taon nang nagre-residency para sa LaSalle.
Well, he was really eager and excited to play last Saturday, and he's just raring to go. If I think coming in, like seeing Benembala play, he wants the UAP to start tomorrow already. Back to live action at Ateneo, now ahead by solitary point. Mustre, who hit earlier back-to-back threes, missing from that long range. Babylonia falling down to the floor. Another player falling down. Manganti gets it. It's a lucky break for Adamson and the lead back for the Soaring Falcons.
And you love the hustle being shown by the players, pre-season tournament or not. Players diving after loose balls. Sometimes Sean Manganti winning that battle.
Mike Nieto is back in. And Cadua will be called for the personal foul as he was staying close to Tyler Field.
I was about to say, good ball pressure there from the backcourt of Adamson. Pero ito si Cadua, a little over-eager, committing the foul.
And we see Coach Franz Pumaran and his whole coaching staff with Coach Tonichi Ituri there, Coach Renan Eduardo,
Jack Santiago.
Yes.
Actually, yung coaching staff ng Adamson, formidable starting 5 din yan. Kung titignan mo, Tonichi Ituri, Don Aliado, Renan Eduardo.
Kompleto kami, Jack Santiago pa.
In their prime, they would give any starting 5 a run for their money.
I won't argue with you on that one.
Another foul committed by Adamson that's going to send Porter to the free throw line. Again, Ateneo had 50 free throws against a UE team that plays a similar type of defense as this Adamson squad. Shot 30, made 35 out of 50.
Porter missing on his first free throw attempt. Last Saturday, he played in 11 minutes, scored 7 points. Splits his charities there. Now Porter with 7 as well to his name with 1:23 remaining.
And I'm glad to see Chris Porter 100% healthy. He missed one of the seasons. I believe it was last season due to a knee injury. So glad to see him back and at about 100% as Sean Manganti again getting into that paint. Medyo mahirap yung layup na tinira niya doon.
And we were saying, of course, Sean Manganti is known as a stretch four. He likes to take outside shots. He's showing us some moves as well as Platt fires away. Short on that attempt, Babylonia secures the offensive rebound. Underneath, Nieto. Good defense by Papi Sar. Off and running are the blue shirts. Manalang over to Espeleta. Hands in the air. No, Black gets the ball back for Ateneo. 3-on-2 break. Black loses a handle on the leather and the ball will go back to Adamson University.
And you know, both teams, they like to go up and down. As you see this block from Sean Manganti. So not only giving us offense, also providing great defense for Coach Franz Pumaran.
Now, that block was brought to you by Total Exilium, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer.
2-3 zone here for the white shirts.
Manganti gives it to Rob Manalang. Papi Sar, the jumper. And the tip goes back to an Adamson player. Manalang, 11, make that 10 seconds. 7 to shoot for Adamson. Under by Espeleta, no, Papi Sar is there.
Papi Sar cleaning up the boards. And again, one of the things I notice here for Adamson, very patient on offense.
Ateneo led earlier after the first quarter, 23-19. That was a good big man to big man from Banson to Tolentino for Ateneo, but Adamson regains the lead back and heading into halftime, they're up by 4, 39-35. We break down the stats, the plays, and everything that went in the previous 2 quarters when we return only on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. This is the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. Welcome back to the FilOil Flying V Center here in San Juan City for the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup, live and exclusive on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. At the half, Adamson University leads Ateneo De Manila University 39-35. Ateneo led as much as 7, and now the Falcons get the lead back. I'm Andre Felix, he's Marco Benitez, and Marco, it was a back and forth affair. Yeah. First quarter, Ateneo led, and then Adamson got their rhythm, got their defense employed in check, and also their shots were falling down.
That's true, Dre, and as expected, Adamson really employing that full court pressure, causing Ateneo to commit turnovers where they scored off of turnovers, as we see here, this jumper from Aaron Black. But what got Adamson back in the ballgame for me, again, forcing turnovers, scoring in transition, again, and second chance opportunities. Papi Sar leading the way for Adamson with about 10 points in the ballgame. Few of those points coming off offensive rebounds, coming off loose balls. Sean Manganti giving a good account of himself, doubling his effort from last game already. He scored 4 straight points in that second quarter to grab the lead for Adamson, and coming from a 4-point deficit, Adamson able to end the quarter with a 4-point lead, or end the half rather.
We're seeing the halftime highlights brought to you by Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. A lot of young players, new faces, getting their breaks, getting their chances, and hopefully get to be lined up in the upcoming UAP season in the next few months.
For Ateneo, we saw guys like Joel Mendoza hit 1 out of 3 from the field. Quinito Banzon, Cole Maisek for San Beda. Again, we saw Sean Manganti, we saw Don Ochea showing us he can hit that left and right baby hook. So it's going to be interesting as coaches try to experiment more with lineups and see how players are able to adapt to the system that coaches want to run. As we see here, the halftime stats, field goal percentage-wise, tingnan mo, yung sa field goal attempts pa lang, 35-25 in favor of Adamson. More attempts means more chances to convert. So 17 out of 35 fast break points. Adamson also leading in terms of transition points. They forced 12 turnovers for Ateneo, and that translated to 12 turnover points. And I'm sure that is what
surprise.
Yep. No, that is what the system of Coach Franz Pumaren really tries to force you to do. Fall into mistakes. And we talked about the leading scorers here for the first half.
Of course, Papi Sar leading the way with 10, Ahamisi and Mooster both with 6, and Porter, Tolentino, and Mike Nieto with 7, 6, and 5, respectively. When we return, it will be third quarter, and the action continues here at the FilOil Flying V Center in San Juan City for the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup, only here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Don't go away. Once again, our officials for today's ball game, we have Bong Pascual with referee, and then we have umpire 1, Ariel Berneo, and also umpire 2, Rigor Guaro. Third quarter. Thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. I know it's really hot and traffic out there wherever you may be. We also have live streaming, by the way, on ABS-CBN Sports. Just log on to sports.abs-cbn.com.
Great backdoor cut there from Adrian Wong.
But Wong is, we see him go back to the bench. So Ateneo is 1 man short. Wong may have stepped on somebody's foot as he is limping in pain. We will get to see what happened there again as...
it doesn't look so good because he can't even put weight on that, I believe, his left foot.
Kinailangan na nga kargahin din siya ni Ike doon kasi yung nagkakamali. Yun, he sprained his left ankle.
Wicked stepped on Harold Nam's left foot, so that's a bad development here for the Blue Eagles, just as Adrian Wong getting those 2 points. Tyler Teo also has yet to score here in the ballgame.
Teo finds Porter. Porter lines it up and gets that one to go down. It's a big 3 for Chris Porter.
That's going to be a very potent weapon if Chris Porter can hit that 3-point shot consistently. That's going to open up the interior for guys like J-Boy Babylonia, Ike from season 79.
We talk about Sean Manganti being a stretch big man for Adamson. How about Chris Porter knocking down those outside shots? Porter to Mendoza. 3 for 3. Good pick by Babylonia to get him free. An offensive rebound. Second chance here for Ateneo. Tyler Teo. goes to the corner, and that outside shot goes down. This time it's Mike Nieto. How about the bigs of Ateneo, Marco, knocking those outside shots?
Well, Ateneo's bigs, that time, Babylonia showing that he can put the ball on the floor, and Mike Nieto, as we know, adjusting his game to the college level, getting more range on this three-point shot. If he can hit that consistently, he's going to be a good weapon for Coach Sandy Adams-Pacochaga and Tam Baldwin.
Papi Sar missing on that semi-hook shot. Nieto, this quarter going baseline. Here's Theo. They will set up their offense up top. Babylonia against Sar. Babylonia looking for some movement. Hands it over to Mike Nieto. Chris Porter now against Manganti. 10 seconds to shoot. Porter, the fall away is short. Sar grabs another rebound.
Good defense there from Sean Manganti.
Pasturan hangs up there, but good challenge by Mike Nieto.
Good presence of mind from Mike Nieto, coming from the weak side. And he saw that Pasturan had an open lane, went to help and got the block.
In case you just tuned in, this is the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup, live and exclusive on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Also, we are live streaming on sports.abs-cbn.com. Second foul called on Mendoza being too close to Harold Nang.
There's that contact which the referee saw. 14 seconds on the clock here for Adamson.
Manganti attacks the defense of Porter. Shot Manganti, everything but the shot. Free is Mike Nieto, challenged by Sar, but that goes down. 2 points for Mike Nieto.
Good strong move from Nieto, also protecting the ball with his body.
Nieto now with 10. Nang free to shoot for 3. No! Manganti, the offensive rebound, falls down hard to the floor.
Bodies falling everywhere dito, Dre.
Oo. Kung gaano kainit sa labas, ganoon din kainit ang action dito sa loob ng FilOil Flying V Center in San Juan. Yo, nice look inside to Babylonia. Could not convert is J-Boy Babylonia, but Mike Nieto now leading the way for the Blue Eagles with 12 points.
And Adamson has yet to score here in the third quarter. Ateneo going on a 12-0 run.
That's right, because they were up at the half, 39-35, and this is your Haynes School Play of the Quarter. Haynes, America's first name in comfort. A while ago we mentioned Chris Newsom's little sister, of course, with her friends as well. Chris Newsom's sister plays also for the Ateneo Lady Eagles.
Yep.
In the UAP. This is the time also we say good afternoon to our few friends watching at home. We have Tete Teodoro and of course a player of the Jerry Heavy Bombers who's not part of this year's FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. JP Manan is also watching us, by the way. At home. Mr. 24/7.
Mr. 24/7, lahat ng sports events. You have to give credit to the guy, JP Manan, covering almost all sports events. Great up fake there by Papi Sar, just losing the ball. And you know, Dre, if there's one difference that Papi Sar has between him and Ben Mbala, one thing that Papi Sar has to continually develop, yung handles for the ball and the footwork.
How about Mike Nieto being at the right place at the right time? And this guy who scored 5 points way back in the first now has scored 11 all here in the third quarter. Now let's go back to Laura Lehman reporting for the Blue Eagles. Yes, Lau.
Andre and Marco, if you're a fan of the Blue Eagles, you'll notice that a lot of people are missing from today's lineup. Arvin Tolentino, Hubert Cani, and Jerry Pingboy are not in attendance today, while other players like Matt Nieto are out with an injury. Now, speaking of injuries, Adrian Wong just hurt his ankle here in the game after taking the shot, and he is currently in the dugout icing it. Now, alternatively, a lot of rookies are on court today, and that's precisely because the coaches want them to get experience. It's not only about playing time, but it's also about facing older, veteran players who they'll eventually meet in the UAAP. Now, to add to that, the coaches have also yet to decide on their official lineup. The boys need to play hard and prove themselves in this game in order to earn a spot. That's all for now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lau. We've been talking about it. Good point by Laura there. this is actually the perfect time for these young players to get the experience, get to know, because we have NCAA schools participating as well,
Correct.
but most of the UAAPs, of course, the school like Adamson, they will face in the UAAP.
That's true. And, you know, I heard the philosophy of Coach Tab Baldwin, unlike in previous seasons. This season, he wants to get as much game exposure for the players as possible. And no better exposure, no better, kumbaga, tryout, so to speak, as we see Gian Mamuyak, who is also part of the training squad. No better way to gauge the talent level, the compatibility of players to your system than actual game competition against teams that you'll be competing against. And sabi mo nga, Dre, NCAA schools, the NCAA starts in June and July. So you can expect that the NCAA schools participating here in the FilOil are more or less close or approaching their peak in terms of practices, in terms of game shape. So this is going to be a good barometer for teams like Ateneo, teams like Adamson, teams like LaSalle.
And more or less, the players that will be fielded in by the NCAA teams.
Yun na yung team nila.
Exactly. Now let's go back to Adamson's side, courtesy of this report from Steph Monse. Yes, Steph.
Andre Marker earlier inside the dugout, coach pointed out that the boys are quicker than their opponents, though the only culprit here is their lack of playing hard defense. He said that he wants to see the aggressiveness to be present inside the court every time they play. He wants to instill the certain angas to his players. In addition to that, Sean Manganti shared to me earlier that since they're going up against a team that has also come up with a loss, they really gotta have a positive mindset and the right amount of angas to win this ballgame. Andre and Marco?
Maraming salamat, Steph. Sana ikaw hindi ka din maangas. I like that Steph saying the angas of the boys. Actually, there is some swag by the Adamson Soaring Falcons with Papi Sar leading, JD Tongkab also showing some signs of that quote-unquote angas that Steph has been saying that Coach Franz wants to instill also on his boys.
And, you know, personally, Dre, I think you have to attribute it to the coaching staff. Once you have a coaching staff with that type of a resume, Franz Pumaren, Don Aliado, Tonichi Ituri, Renan Etualo, as a player, you cannot help but have that sort of swag because alam mong yung tinuturo sa'yo, yung sistema na binibigay sa inyo, may credibility at saka proven that it works.
Don Aliado, isang maangas din talaga.
Talaga.
Outside shot is good. 30 Raveno just checked back in and he knocks down a triple.
And I think aside from the system, syempre, Dre, one of the reasons why Coach Franz Pomar and his coaching staff has been brought here into Adamson is yung culture, that winning culture, that culture of doing whatever it takes to get to become a winning program.
Black was fouled on the way to the hoop. He will head to the line, but back and forth, 3 points, 3-pointers we saw there. One from Ateneo, courtesy of that 3 by 30 Ravena. And then on the other side, it was answered back by Rob Manalang for Adamson.
So quick 7 points here for Adamson after that 14-0 run by the Blue Eagles. Trims the Blue Eagle lead to just 7 points, make that 8 after those free throws by Aaron Black.
Black now has 4 to his name. Now Ateneo, well, a little bit of their version of the man-to-man press.
Rob Manala easily breaking that pressure.
Manalang against Asistio. Manalang, his quickness also has that burst of speed. Papi Sar, the offensive rebound, and the putback is good for the big man. He now has 14.
Very little that Vince Tolentino can do there against Papi Sar once Sar got inside position. Right now, the 5 on the floor here for the Blue Eagles. You have 30, you have Vince Tolentino, Antonio Cisio, Aaron Black, and a newcomer, Luis Timothy Koo. First time seeing action here. Another big man.
A lot of really brand new faces.
I think si Gian Mamuyak na lang yung hindi pa nagagamit.
Dun sa mga nakabihis na nakikita natin, ha? Black goes closer and no, and 30 wanted to put it back. No.
Ganda ng matchup nito between JD Tugcab and 30 Ravena. Both swingmen with perimeter skills.
Both athletic as well. Papi Sar short on that jumper, just hits the front of the iron. Black will
Pull it back out. Wait for display to marinate for Ateneo. Tolentino to the cutting Ravenna. Tongkab almost stole the ball away. Asistio gets fouled on his way up by Manalang.
Ateneo likes to run that play where they have a big man in the low post, the other big man screens for the weak side wing. That time, Asistio drawing the foul.
We take a quick break. Ateneo up 54-48. Former courtside reporter of De La Salle University, Billy Capistrano, is in attendance as well, supporting...
Tapos na yung game ng Lasal, ah.
Oh man, sinusuportahan.
Yan ang aalamin natin kay Larry.
Asistio at the line, was fouled earlier on his way up, taking that jumper, and he sinks the first free throw. Earlier hit 2 free throws in the first quarter, was scoreless in the second. And splits his charities there. Papi Sar gathers another defensive rebound for the Soaring Falcons. Still trails 55-48. Adamson earlier led. Biggest lead was, I believe, 4 points. And Ateneo, the biggest lead was at 10.
That's going to be a difficult position to put Koo in. That's one-on-one against Papi Sar inside the paint. Koo forced to foul Papi Sar.
Booster. Tongkab. Now Aaron Black is fast to guard Tongkab, but Papi Sar too easy. Good seal as well, Papi Sar.
That's almost automatic there. You're not going to be able to block Papi Sar once he goes for that turnaround baby hook.
Black, Asistio, Tolentino.
Same play being run here.
Asistio says, let's not go there. Asistio finds daylight, fires one, no.
Good defensive stop here for the Falcons. You see JD Tongkab now playing the point guard position, breaking down 30 Ravenna.
Oh, and Camacho falls down hard there, and now here's Aaron Black running it. Black sees he can beat Mustra with a dribble. And Mustra corrals the board or make that. That's right. Mustra, they go inside to Sar.
Just a little too much juice on that entry pass coming from Terence Mustre.
30 Ravenna looking at the clock. Again, there is no shot clock, so we just rely on the Coliseum Barker to announce the shot clock here. Asistio. Ravenna fires. And good tap by Asistio. So a fresh 14 for the Blue Eagles. Under 10 to shoot. Ravenna on an isolation. Oh, nice crossover by 30. 30 gets fouled, taking the 3. That would have been a highlight if 30 Ravenna hit that outside shot.
That's a good crossover step back there from 30 Ravenna, and drawing the foul from Terence Mustre, and Coach Don Aliado approaching Terence Mustre, telling him never foul a jump shooter, especially when somebody taking a 3-point shot.
It's that when you don't give that player that landing space.
Kailangan meron siya yung babagsakan. And we see Don Achea checking into the ball game, and Gian Mamuyak, the last guy off the bench here for the Blue Eagles,
is finally in.
Teammates with Jolo Mendoza in the recently concluded Seaba Under-18 tournament.
Of course, Bong Ravenna is here.
Itong si Coach Bong Ravenna, papansin mo as he watches his sons here, Kiefer, 30,
yeah,
always has that stern look when his boys are taking free throws.
Kiefer's in the U.S. right now, right? As we speak,
He's training in the U.S.
in Las Vegas. Oh, and 30. Some free throw woes as well for Ravenna. Pacanada is back on a hard court. Booster. Camacho back to Pacanada, looking for some movement. Goes back to Camacho. 10 seconds to shoot. Camacho with a spin. Inside to Pacanada. Just throws that one up. Uses the glass. Pacanada was able to score.
A nice movement there on offense coming from the Adamson Soaring Falcons.
Oh, and 30 Ravenna just right back there. Could not convert. Pacanada with a sidestep. Oh, was bothered and challenged by Aaron Black.
Still a lot of time here.
But Espeleta doesn't take that time and just takes a shot to no avail, and Ravenna gets a rebound. Amuyat now the leather and goes back to 30 Ravenna. 5 to shoot here in the third. Oh, the back is still open for Ateneo and for Isaaco.
So Ateneo closing out that quarter on a basket. Gets a 6-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
That was a good shot to end the third period for Isaaco. Using the glass, beating the buzzer, and still with the lead for Ateneo. And this play of the game is brought to you by Total Exilium, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer. Fourth and final quarter is coming up after the break. Thank you for watching on this Friday. Good afternoon again. Good night na ba? 9 minutes before 6 o'clock. Wherever you may be, thank you for staying with us on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. I'm Andre Felix. Of course, with me is well-respected basketball analyst Marco Benitez. We have Laura Lehman reporting for Ateneo and also Steph Monse reporting for Adamson University. Ateneo up by 6 for this fourth and final quarter for the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. Both teams lost on opening day, want to get a win here.
And we were talking about the tournament format today, you know. Single round robin here for the 8 teams. As Ateneo Adamson showing us that he can finish that time with a reverse. So importante yung getting every win that you can. You cannot go down 0-2 with just 7 games in the elimination round. Top 4 teams advance to the quarterfinals for both groups.
Spinetta with a curl, doesn't take the shot. It's Nano fires away, too strong. Medyo orthodox panoorin tong si Benito Banson, but it's effective for him.
Oh, he's been given the point guard duties here by Coach Sanguines Pacuchaga. Played the 2-guard or the small forward position in high school. As Jamie Escaler stretch 4. He can hit that 3-point shot.
Good looking 3 from Jamie Escaler. Now let's go back to Ateneo's side, courtesy of this report from Lau.
Andre and Marco, inside Moro Lorenzo Gym, which is the official gym of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, there is a banner hanging up which reads "Defense wins championships." And sure enough, defense is exactly what the coaches emphasize in the dugout. For starters, they want the boys to stay on their marked players and exert pressure. Adamson has been getting one too many offensive rebounds, and this cannot happen. Ateneo needs to tighten their grip. And well, as for shooting, good offense always starts with good defense. That's all for now, guys.
Thank you, Laura Lehman reporting for the Blue Eagles. And of course, gusto ko sa akin si Laura. Good report though, but still a little emotional on that Ateneo loss.
Oh yes,
in the AP season of volleyball,
she was
yeah.
talking in the prod room. Really roller coaster ride for the Lady Eagles, and you just have to, your heart just goes out.
Yeah. Whoever wins in that series actually just really deserves it. But of course, congratulations to the Ateneo men's team for winning the championship in the bottom.
Yeah, congratulations to the Lady Spikers for bringing the crown back to Taft Avenue.
Back to live action. Nang was too close. And could not believe he committed a foul there.
That is one of the things that Gian Mamuyak is going to have to adjust to, the physicality of play, as we see that reverse layup from Benito Banson.
A while ago, we saw that Haynes school play of the quarter. Haynes, America's first name in comfort.
The difference in physicality of the high school game from the college game is worlds apart.
Scaler. Kick out now to Black. 5 to shoot. Black. Oh, and a bailout foul. He gets a foul from Jerick Hamisi.
And you just see the frustration from his teammate Papi Sar. Hamisi had played great defense on Aaron Black and just fell into committing a foul at the last second. Could have just raised his hands and challenged that jump shot. Coach Norman Black looking very pensive. Parang si Coach Bong Ravena din yan. His son takes those 2 free throws.
The lead is now back up to double digits at 10 points for the boys from Katipunan.
That is one of the things that Adamson was not able to do towards the latter portion of the third quarter. Feed the ball into Papi Sar. We know he was successful in that first half.
Scaler lines up from the corner. No, too long, and then there's Aaron Black. Really aggressive on the offensive rebounding, but Ateneo wasn't able to convert. Back to Adamson. Adamson trailing by 10. Oh, and he gets the basket plus the foul there. So an extra free throw will be awarded to Nicolas Pacanada.
A good move there from Paranada, taking his time, that time staying in control, and then that turnaround and the foul from Aaron Black.
Good confidence as well for Nico Pacanada. And this one is brought to you by Total Exilium, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer. Pacanada does not convert on the free throw, but look at Papi Sar. This is what you've been saying, Marco, and I agree with you. Go to Papi Sar, the low block. Ike is not there for Ateneo, so just pound it inside, use your advantage.
Strength-wise, Isaac Go has a hard time matching up against Papi Sar pound for pound. So that time, Papi Sar getting inside position. And you know, ito si Papi Sar is a respectable free throw shooter. He's improved a lot since season 78. In that last game against La Salle, I think he shot 8 out of 10 from the free throw line.
Sar, missing both.
Oh, as you saw that injured ankle from Adrian Wong.
And a while ago we heard, as we take a look at that, good play from Ian Mamuyak. And we talked about Mamuyak, not seeing action in the first half, finally being given some experience here in the FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Cup. That was a good move from Mamuyak. Now let's go back to Steph. Wants it for Adamson. Yes, Steph.
Coming up in this quarter, Coach said as long as they have the right offense, aggressive defense, and communication present in this ball game, they can still recover. He reminded the boys that even though they started out flat, he doesn't want to see his players na parang tatamad-tamad. They can't afford to play passively now, and they have to play within their strength. Andre and Marco?
Thank you so much, Steph.
Cole Mysek also getting into the scoring column. Brings the lead back up to 10 here for the white shirts.
We're back live with you on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Thank you for joining us. Andre Felix, Marco Benitez.
As we see the father of the Nieto twins, Doc Jet Nieto, also a former champion in his own right, and Jig Mendoza, father of Jolo Mendoza. Papi Sar trying to get post position and enjoying the foul against Isaac Go.
Kala ko sasabihin mo din, si Papi Sar's father.
Wala, hindi ko pa nakikita.
Sabi mo, the father of the Nieto twins, father of Jolo Mendoza, and as we see Papi, kala ko nakita mo din eh. Di lang nakita. From Manalang now to Hamisi, almost losing a handle on the ball. And Dono Chia. That's an attempt, no, and look at that. Look at that kid, Pacanada. He's just showing us he came here to play and his aggressiveness.
A lot of confidence ito si Paranada.
And binibigyan siya ng quality minutes ni Coach Franz Bumagel.
And you know, the advantage is when we have Paranada playing the point guard position, and then si Rob Manalang, who we know is a shooter, can play the two-guard spot.
Manalang over to Che, the swing to Hamisi. Ateneo. Now with Banson, sees he doesn't have the numbers, will back it up. Go back to Benito Banson, calling the play, signaled by Coach Sandy Agaspacochaga.
That's a lazy pass there from Isaac Go.
Panalang. Pacanada. Ilista mo na. Look at this kid, Pacanada. Yes, para sa tres. The confidence of this young kid is now showing, and he is not disappointing Coach Franz Pomaran.
And Ateneo not able to scout Paranada because he did not play in their previous outing, showing us now that he has game, can penetrate, can pass, that time hitting that corner triple. So very composed, playing with a lot of confidence itong si Paranada.
There is no scouting report on Nico Pacanada, and he is showing us that he should be guarded. As we know the rules, hand down, man down. Amisi against Nieto. Amisi to Manalang. Manalang, the spin. The jumper by Manalang looking good.
That's a great turnaround there from Manaalang over Tyler Tio.
Nieto.
Full court pressure para dito sa Soaring Falcons.
As we just passed our 5-minute mark of the final quarter, Adamson chipped on this lead earlier as much as 11, but look at Tyler Tio
He
extending
can
that
hit
lead.
that
Yes.
three-point shot as we've seen in that last game against UE.
Pacanada, the runner by Pacanada. Tyler Tio gets it for Ateneo.
He'll set things up. Probably going to call that same play.
Isaac Go inside, high-low. Porter using the glass. That was a good play from the two bigs. Isaac Go to Porter.
And so far, better execution here. Past couple of possessions for the Blue Eagles, despite the press being employed by Adamson.
15 to shoot. Papisar. He won't hesitate taking the jumper. No, and it will be a foul as two players were entangled. Isaac Go.
And you know, Dre, Ateneo will live with that. They doubled Manalang that time. Papisar was open on the baseline, but he settled for that mid-range jumper instead of going it hard to the basket.
And like what you said, Ateneo will really live with that compared to Papisar dominating and forcing his will
that's true.
inside the shaded area. As we take a look at that good-looking three from Tyler Tio. That is in his resume, like what you mentioned.
Adamson has tried to make the run, tried to force turnovers, but so far, Blue Eagles have had an answer.
Chea knocks down the free throw. Adamson still trailing. Last time they led was way back in the first half. Chea now with 9.
Still a lot of time here. Almost 4 minutes left in the ball game. Just an 8-point deficit here for Adamson. Sean Mangani re-enters. But they're going to have to force some turnovers. This time 2-1 being shown.
Different kind of defense employed now by Adamson University. Dosa misses, but look at Isaac Go to no avail. Adamson on the run. And Pacanada, that was read perfectly by Tyler Tio. Good defense from Tio.
Good deflection from Tio, like what you said, because Papisar was all alone there trying to get post position.
Boy Babylonia is back in. Isaac Go getting some few words from Coach Sandy Agaspacochaga. Ahamisi from Curry territory. Mendoza secures a rebound for Ateneo. Being chased down by Papisar. Mendoza gives it back out to Tio. Back to Mendoza. Back to Tio. They swing it over to the left side. A set shot from Nieto does not go down. But look at the offensive rebound. And the bigs collaborating on that play. They have Porter, they have Nieto, they have Babylonia.
And that time Papisar not getting into the mix in the paint. So Babylonia and Porter dominating on the glass, getting that second chance opportunity.
Anti inside to Papisar. There it is, Marco. Kanina pa natin pinag-usapan yun.
That is what Papisar has been looking for. And you know, there's a little bit of frustration from Papisar. One of the few times he's gotten entry pass, and that's probably one of the reasons why dun sa previous possession, hindi na siya nag-effort na mag-defensive rebound.
Tyler Diaz wanted to break the defense, but Chris Porter given daylight to shoot. That looked good, but no. Scramble for the leather, and Ateneo gets a lucky break, gets a fresh 14 here.
And the Blue Eagles are showing that they wanted more, chasing those 50-50 balls.
Sar finally secures the rebound for Adamson University. Canada over to Hamisi, gets a foul from Tyler Teo.
8-point lead here for the white shirts. That's going to send Hamisi to the free throw line.
30 Ravenna. Check back in. And Tyler Teo goes to Coach Sanders Pacochaga, but Joel Mendoza goes to the bench. Jerick Anamisi at the line. And there is assistant coach and shooting coach, Ren Ritualo. You know, you have a Don Aliado teaching you the post moves from the bigs. Then you have Ren Ritualo, considered probably as arguably as one of the best shooters to ever play in the UAAP and with contact green and white.
One of the few players. When your school retires your jersey number,
Yes.
you know that you've had a storied college career.
Madaming pinaiyak ng atinista yan. Isa na ako dyan.
Isa na rin ako dyan.
Ikaw talaga, kayo talaga pinaiyak ka talaga. Last 2 minutes now brought to you by Haynes, America's first name in comfort. Tyler Teo goes to Babylonia. Mike Nieto. Nice bounce pass to Babylonia. That was a good play from Nieto to Babylonia.
That's a good roll to the basket there. Papi Sarcot trying to double Mike Nieto. Mike Nieto showing us his passing skills, finding Babylonia inside.
Strike. Oh, nice look inside the Papi Star, but probably a little too late. There's still time. 1 minute and 34 remaining here in this ballgame.
And we didn't see a lot of Mike Booster here in the second half. That time, trying to make his presence felt again.
15 to shoot. 30. Oh, nice move by 30. Oh, what a reverse from 30 Ravenna.
Showing us the athleticism that time and the ball handling. Kinuha sa kabila.
Napakalalim ng duo doon ni 30 Ravenna. 79-71. Be right back after these. This is a block of the game brought to you by Totalex Helium at the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer. We also want to take the time to greet advance happy birthday. Bukas po ang birthday ng aming makeup artist.
Oh.
Happy birthday to Ate Maylene Concepcion. Ate May, napakasipag, napakabait, napakalambing natin makeup artist.
Happy birthday, Ate May. Maraming salamat.
Kaya na nga, nung nalaman ni Laura na birthday, pinapalo. Kasi ganun ka-close tong si Ate May sa atin lahat. Sports reporters, sa ating mga anchors, analysts. And again, a look on the 4-year older sister of Cole Maisek, Alexa Maisek, who just recently participated in the BVR, Beach Volley Republic, in Boracay, no?
Boracay. Oh, kasama na si Mr. Pure Business doon.
Kasama ni...
No. Mr. Pure Business. Anton Ross covered the BVR with Gretchen Ho, Phil Kainglet.
Para malinaw lang. Akala ko may issue eh. Someone's asking on Twitter, by the way, bakit daw wala si Arvin Tolentino? Again, we want to reiterate that Arvin is not here because...
But together with the other players, some of the other players of Ateneo, I think Coach Tab Baldwin is implementing yung system where they are fixing their academic responsibilities or fulfilling their academic responsibilities before they become officially part of the training tour.
I like how the way you put that, very diplomatic. It is true because it is really difficult. You know this firsthand, Marco. You are a student athlete yourself. You're part also of a juniors program. You're managing these kids. it is really difficult balancing both, you know,
That's
practice and classes, exams, and all that.
And this is not yet the mother tournament. So if you're going to prioritize something, better focus on your studies first so that you are eligible to play and that you can focus on the UAAP tournament come season 79.
Kumaga parang summer league to. Kung sa NBA may summer league sila. Where,
So you have to take care of business first in the classroom or your other responsibilities and your other requirements before you can officially be part of the UAAP team as Ateneo.
in the meantime, yes, we see as a 30 Ravenna call for an offensive foul, warding off with that left hand and holding on to the shorts of an Adamson player. Oh, miscommunication, and that was a bad break for Adamson.
I was about to say 30 keeping the door open here for Adamson, but a turnover for the Falcons is going to give the ball back to Ateneo with a 6-point lead and 50 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Coach Franz Pumaren fuming on it.
Pero kaya pa to, Dre, just a 2-possession game.
Oh yeah, it is mathematical possible under 50 seconds to play. Ateneo up by 6, trying to milk the clock. Tiger field. Who do they go to? They go to Tolentino, and Tolentino might be the dagger. Yes, para sa tres.
And Tolentino, we've talked about him changing his game, adapting his game, being in the best shape of his college career. That time hitting the 3.
That could have been that nail on the coffin for Adamson. Good confidence also from Tolentino.
And Jay, you saw who gave that assist. That was Tyler Teo, patiently milking the clock, drew the double team off the ball screen, and Tolentino flared to the top of the key and calmly drained that 3-pointer.
20.6 remaining. Time is definitely not on the side of Adamson University.
Adamson not yet in the penalty, so next foul is going to send an Ateneo into the free throw line.
And Babylonia came crashing in.
Trying to save that basketball. You love the effort from G-Boy Babylonia. Summer League or what?
Yeah. Kala ko may injured yung floor director natin, si Larry Diang eh.
Biglang nagtago sa ilalim ng lamesa si Lani.
Bilis ni Larry. Ganun kalaki si G-Boy Babylonia. Napatili pa eh.
And Vince Tolentino just icing this ball game up.
Sealing this game. First win for Ateneo in 2 outings. Some takeaways, Marco, from both sides, and of course, after seeing them play in the first game, and now here, of course, it will be a victory for Ateneo De Manila.
Well, I think for Adamson, the process still continues here for Coach Franz Pumaren, trying to instill this defensive system. They were able to force Ateneo into turnovers. And I think on the offensive end, just not able to capitalize on their advantage with Papisar in the paint. For Ateneo, meanwhile, improving on their performance against UE this time, able to handle that press a lot better, showing a lot more composure. Guys like Chris Porter, Tyler Teo, G-Boy Babylonia, even Mike Nieto giving a good account of himself in the third quarter in particular. So better outing here for the Blue Eagles.
30 Ravenna and Papisar now laughing, but earlier Papisar goes to the bench of Adamson. Medyo may kasamang ano lang yung necessary contact, yung tulak lang.
Very frustrating afternoon dito para kay Papisar.
That's how the story went for Adamson. Nice sidestep by Harold Nam.
But this is what the preseason is all about. It's about experimentation.
Yep.
It's about trying different lineups, and it's about trying to ingrain in your respective team the system that you want to run.
Final score 84-75. Ateneo, Coach Sandra Papachaga and Coach Franz Pumaren, of course, very good friends as well. They have seen each other a lot. They've been through so many battles as well.
And they've been part of the same coaching staff in the Pro League.
But Ateneo is victorious today. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you who the best player was and a rundown, and also when the next games will be
here at the FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. Stay with us, please. Final score once again is 84 for the Ateneo De Manila University Blue Eagles and 75 for the Adamson University Soaring Falcons. Our free-go player of the game is
Chris Porter, finishing with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Excellent outing here for the former Blue Eaglet. As you see his stats there, he, Vince Tolentino, together with G-Boy Babylonia, did work and tried to contain Papi Sar, who also still finished with 20 points though. But Chris Porter, especially in the second half, had 7 points in the second half to help Ateneo in the winning effort.
Congratulations once again to the Ateneo De Manila University Blue Eagles. What a way for these young kids to showcase their wares as well. And of course, for Adamson, you know, it takes time to build that system,
definitely.
you know. But if you're an Adamson player, future looks bright also because you have Coach Franz Bumaren at the helm now.
I have to definitely agree with you there, Jay. There's still a lot of improvement to do, but if you're Coach Franz Bumaren, you're just going to tell your boys, trust the system, trust the process, and they're going to get there.
The next time we see each other here at the FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup, well, the games are always here at the FilOil Flying V Center, but the thing is, the next covered game on ABS-CBN Sports will be the first week of June because schedules can be changed, but it will be interesting, Marco, because it will be San Beda versus Latran, and then Ateneo versus LaSalle.
Parang rivalry week
Yes, it is gonna be a great doubleheader for the rivals in the NCAA and in the UAAP. Ateneo versus LaSalle, and then San Beda versus Latran.
And by that time, we'll already have a picture of who will make it to the quarterfinals of both groups.
Finally, Marco, it's been
always a
great
pleasure,
tours,
Dre.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marco Benitez, and thank you also to Laura Lehman, Steph Monse, our director, Al Neri, our producer, Ada Carlos Bayug, our floor director, Larry Diang, and to everybody working for ABS-CBN Sports. My name is Andre Felix. We'll see you again next time. Thank you for tuning in. Ateneo victorious 84-75. LaSalle was also victorious earlier against UE 97-75. This has been the live and exclusive coverage of ABS-CBN Sports of the 2016 FilOil Flying V Pre-Season Premier Cup. Have a great weekend.